Megatruth News has acquired an exclusive interview with a Trump supporter named Roy Woodtick, whose dog was eaten by Haitian immigrants.
Well, I was up in the North Field trying to get a little plowing done before sunset when I seen this black fella coming out of the woods up on the bluff. And right away I knew what he wanted, because I had my old one-eyed dog, Cleaver, there with me. And that black fella, he was eyeing him, and he had in his hands a burlap bag. And I got off the tractor and I ran up, but before I got there it was too late, and he had him in the bag, and he scampered off into the woods.
What did you do then?
Well, I done followed him into the woods, and I went down a path, and it was getting real dark. And of course, them black fellas, you can't see them in the dark. They're like ghosts. But then I come up to a place where I started smelling some smoke, and I saw flickering flames through the trees. And sure enough, there he was with some of his fellas, and they was, and some females too, and they was all naked, and they was having one of them voodoo ceremonies.
The Haitian immigrants were having a voodoo ceremony. I suppose they were preparing to eat your dog in the ceremony. Please go on, Mr. Woodtick.
Well, they had Cleaver, and they had him hanging upside down, and the poor guy he's squeaking and barking, but they had him muzzled, and they cut his throat, and they squeezed the blood down into the voodoo fire, and the flames come up, and then they was hooping and hollering and squawking and squeaking, and that's when they started cutting them up and roasting them over the fire for eating in the voodoo ritual way that they do.
Just unbelievable. And as I understand it, they also ate your cat?
Sure, they ate my cat too. My cat, Mrs. Fluffy. Mrs. Fluffy's actually a guy, but not one of them transgender cats. It was just a nickname. I don't want to talk about that. But anyhow, Mrs. Fluffy, they got her the next day. And this time they had a voodoo ceremony, but it was a little smaller and wasn't in the woods. They just had a little barbecue thing set up, but it was in their backyard, and I snuck up and I saw them, and they was roasting Mrs. Fluffy, roasting her over the barbecue pit. It smelled pretty good, I gotta say.